It gives me great pleasure now to introduce to you the Chair of the Board of AMEB for the Centenary Address, Mr. Mike Tyler.
I too would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the Tasmanian Aboriginal community as the traditional and original owners and continuing custodians of this land on which we gather today, and acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. Thank you, Bernard, for the introduction, and at this time I wish to acknowledge and thank Bernard and his team for not only the tireless work during the centenary year, but for the many years of extraordinary service given to this organisation. While it can be cliched, I cannot think of an organisation that relies so heavily on its people. Bernard has managed those interactions consummately. Can I reiterate Bernard's sentiments that you're all here because of your most valued commitment and contributions to the ideals of the AMEB. I'm very excited to be here at Mona for this event, even though I feel a little bit now like I'm in the gallows. But what a magnificent venue. My thanks also to my good friend and colleague Andrew Legg for the connections. Can I also acknowledge current and previous board members here tonight, and in particular two previous board chairs in Professor Ian Holtham and Professor Warren Bebbington. And I'm delighted to be here to witness Professor Holtham receiving an honorary fellowship, an honour which was previously been bestowed on Professor Bebbington. I also acknowledge previous Director Professor David Lockett, who will also receive an honorary fellowship tonight. I think the Museum of Old and New Art resonates well with the AMEB as we continue to seek new innovation and opportunities while not relinquishing the old. 100 years ago in 1918, you could not have received an AMEB theory certificate having sat the exam online in Nigeria. This did indeed happen recently, made possible by a new online partnership with Rising Software, allowing candidates to sit online theory exams at any time, anywhere in the world. In contrast, in 1918, the then Prime Minister Billy Hughes made the first direct radio telephone call between England and Australia. However, it is significant to us that a 1918 AMEB diploma is just as valuable and important as one earned in 2018. I have read with great interest the centenary book, A Centenary Celebration, which could well be called AMEB the First 100 Years, and I acknowledge the author, Dr. Rita Cruz, who joins us tonight. And Steve Hodgson and our publishing team for the blood, sweat and tears in putting it together. In reading the book, I'm excited to see how far the organisation has come while maintaining the incredible legacy of the beginnings. To think that women weren't considered suitable to be examiners until 1943, and in fact were campaigned against, with a then board member suggesting that it is considered in many quarters that a woman examiner, generally speaking, is not likely to give such a sound judgment as that of a man. I think we've come a long way. This year has been a great celebration already, with not only the release of Rita's book, but centenary receptions in every state government house throughout the country. A number of centenary concerts, including the fabulous New South Wales concert where the performers were the AMEB examiners, centenary diploma events, and of course the very successful online orchestra project, which attracted more than 1,900 performers. The online orchestra video was launched on the new big screen in Federation Square in Melbourne, where we were joined by iconic ambassadors Amber Hammond and Benjamin Northey, and I'm delighted that Amber joins us here tonight. Thank you, Amber. I am also very excited that the online orchestra will happen again in 2019. I would also like to acknowledge the AMEB state officers and managers for the way you have embraced the centenary, and thank you for your work in ensuring the milestone was suitably celebrated. We've had a number of state manager retirements in recent years, and I would like to particularly thank former Queensland State Manager John Briggs, Western Australian Manager Ros Feast, the most recent departure, South Australia's Julie Cranswick, and the imminent retirement of Tasmania's Marika Carruthers. Thank you all for your long and dedicated service to the AMEB. We have a great platform to launch AMEB into its next 100 years. We intend to continue to innovate, explore all opportunities both in Australia and internationally, and put Australia at the forefront of music and speech education. I would argue that the new piano syllabus launched tonight is the best, most innovative and most comprehensive in the world, which is a great start to the next 100 years. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the board and the entire AMEB organisation, I thank you for joining us to celebrate this most significant milestone.